Hey, Gabriel here with the Icon Capture GPS Intelligence Brief for August 25th, 2026. All right, commercial research analysts and business development leads, we need to talk, because this is one of those boards where if you only look at the opportunity count, you are going to misread the market. Here's what I want to do with you today. I want to walk through the new opportunity flow, the legislative and executive movement, the regulatory and court signals, and then bottom line what this means if you're actually managing a portfolio right now and trying to decide where to lean in, where to stay patient, and where you may be kidding yourself. Quick note before we get in, the GPS demand signal review is still open. 8 seats. The terrain that triggered this session has not shifted. Federal demand signal, 0 new opportunities in the pipeline. If you've been watching these briefs and thinking about it, today's board makes the case. Code GPS 26 4 holds a seat and the 30-day preview. Links in the description. So let's get right to the facts. Over the last 168 hours, GPS surfaced. 0 new opportunities posted on SAM.gov. 0 federal hiring signals across 0 agencies. And all of that is happening while market BCL is 0%, with 0 agencies stalled under the continuing resolution. Analyzing the data from the past 168 hours, one can't help but notice a deafening silence. 0 opportunities, top postings, and legislative moves. For those who thrive on raw volume, this might seem like a drought. But if you read this market, the absence of noise is a signal of its own. With no new business capture leads, BCEL, and stalled activity, the board is speaking volumes about accessibility. It suggests a moment of recalibration, a pause before the next wave of opportunities. Managers who read this tape know that a lull can often precede a burst of activity. Interestingly, the capture ticker remains steady, reflecting a market holding its breath. This isn't just about waiting for the next opportunity, but understanding the space between movements. What does this say about accessibility? With fewer entries, competition could intensify when new opportunities finally surface. Commercial research analysts should see this as a chance to refine strategies, ensuring they're not just ready but agile enough to leap when the board starts lighting up again. Consider the CR drag. It's not just the absence of activity, it's the potential buildup of pent-up demand. Companies with foresight will use this time to strengthen relationships and position themselves as front runners. It's a moment to read between the lines, to anticipate where the board will move next, rather than reacting to where it is now. Turning our attention to secondary signals, the landscape becomes a little more textured. With no terrain holes and 0 hiring activity, the market's current topography suggests stability, but not necessarily opportunity. This absence of movement underscores a period where commercial research and business development leads might need to look beyond conventional indicators. The lack of court opinions and lobbying clusters further emphasizes a status quo, yet there's an undercurrent of potential mispricing. For those tracking smart portfolio moves, the lack of lobbying activity is particularly revealing. It hints at sectors where policy changes aren't being aggressively pursued yet. This could mean untapped potential for those with the insight to see where regulatory winds might shift next. In the capture terminal, analysts find value in identifying these quiet zones as areas ripe for strategic entry. Without hiring spread or agency movements, the market isn't telegraphing its next steps, but that doesn't mean it isn't setting up for a shift. This combination of signals suggests a tactical opportunity, focusing on building internal capabilities and readiness for when the terrain shifts. Market mispricing often lurks in these quiet phases, where the absence of activity masks underlying shifts. It's a time for strategic patience, positioning oneself not just for the immediate opportunity, but for the longer game. The current stillness is not a stop sign, but a signal to prepare for the next acceleration. The market is characterized by steady federal demand signals juxtaposed with emerging commercial adjacencies, creating a dynamic yet stable environment for strategic positioning. Are we effectively leveraging federal demand insights to inform our commercial strategy? How can we capitalize on commercial adjacencies without overextending our capabilities? What systems theory principles can we apply to ensure that our strategic shifts are both adaptive and sustainable? Our conviction is clear. By maintaining a disciplined focus on core competencies while selectively expanding into adjacent markets, we can navigate market shifts and secure long-term growth. One more time on this, because the brief we just walked through is exactly the argument for it. The capture terminal. Same intelligence we just read, filtered to your book, running overnight. The GPS demand signal review is still open, 8 seats. The terrain that opened this session is still holding. Code GPS26W4 at communities.theicon.ai/capture the-govcon-elite. Window closes August 28th at midnight. 0.0 million records, 4 verticals ready, provenance traced from bill to award. Like and subscribe if you're managing a federal grant, research, GovCon, or commercial portfolio. I drop a new Jeep brief every weekday. All links, terminal preview, Shipley sessions, live cohort calendar, and the full brief are at communities.theicon.ai/capture/the-govcon-elite. Register free and it's all there. This is Gabriel. I'll see you tomorrow. It looks like you've been inactive for a moment.